How's it going, guys? My name is 3. I'm a 6 times Radiant Valorant player who specializes in aggressive characters like Chamber and other duelists. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips on how to better aim and master certain details that will help perfect your overall aim. I'll be going over things that I've personally learned over my large experience of playing Valorant from other pro players such as Yay and Trick. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy, and let's get right into it. Also, after this, I'm going to be doing a bit of a setting, tutorial, I guess. I'm just gonna be going over like my in-game settings, like my sense, and some extra settings that I use that some other players might not use that give a bit of a, let's say, a bit of a competitive advantage or anything, whatever you want to say. It just helps me a bit in-game. So yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, so starting off, one of the main things that I do that I don't see a lot of people doing in low ranks is something that is called selective clearing. Now, I personally never called it that. I didn't really even know that it was called that. I just thought it was called, you know, just like aiming in the right spot. But Trick gave a good insight into this. So basically, for example, if I'm coming up on belt here, say the round just started, right? The barrier's here, round starts, I'm coming up on belt here. I'm gonna have my knife out, but then immediately I'm gonna pull my gun out and be ready for someone to jump up on belt. Now, this is the first contact that you can have whenever you're playing Icebox. You know, the round just started. This is the first contact that you can have with a person. They could jump up on belt here off of the rope, or they could wall up of a sage wall, they could updraft, blast back, whatever it is. They can get up here, and this is the first contact you're gonna have. So whenever I'm coming up on belt, that's the first place I'm gonna be looking here. So then, you know, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna pause a second, no one's up there. So then immediately when I swing this angle, I'm gonna be a bit careful here because I know that a lot of people like to use an op, unless it's, say it's pistol round, you know, we'll go to pistol round. I'm gonna swing wide here. Now, immediately, you have about 4 angles that you could be peeked from here. There could be a person top 410, there could be a person in nest, there could be a person in rafters, and there could be a person backside. So usually whenever I'm swinging this angle on pistol, I'm gonna give it a bit of a jiggle, just like this. And I'm going to clear all the angles individually instead of just wide swinging out here, and then I'm open to certain angles that I might not be ready for. So for example, if I wide swing out here and I'm looking rafters, but there's a person top 410 right here, they immediately have the advantage on me because I have to move my mouse to look at them right here. When, for example, if I was looking at rafters here and I wide swing here and they're sitting headshot, I have to move my mouse over to them while they'll be aiming directly at me already, so they'll have an advantage. So unless they miss, you're probably going to die. But if you're swinging rafters here, you're clearing each angle individually, clearing top nest, clearing headshot, clearing this angle here, and then there's a special angle right here that I like to play that I also clear. And then I'm going to clear bottom maze here, and then I'm also going to clear top screens, and then pipes here. Walk up, make sure that pipes is also clear. I'm going to look into nest just to see if there's anyone there. And then usually what I like to do is I like to dash on top 410 like this. But you want to make sure that maze is clear before doing that, because after the smoke disappears, you can get shot in the back from here, you can get shot from here, here, here. There's multiple angles you can get shot from. You just want to be careful. You want to clear your angles one by one. You don't want to wide swing it and try and clear 5, 6 different angles at once. It goes the same for defense. If you're swinging out here on a retake, say the bomb is down, right? And you're swinging out, you're going to pop your dash. There's an angle here that people like to play. There's an angle here that people like to play. Top rafters. Or top bell, excuse me, nest, pipes. There's so many different angles that you can get peeked from. You want to make sure that you're clearing each one individually instead of just wide swinging out and being exposed to, you know, 5 different angles, like I said. Along with that, a lot of people, although if you are a low rank, you probably do know what an off angle is, but there's a different type of off angle that I guess you could call it, where although you could call this an off angle, right here where you can see on the top belt, this is a pretty common angle. A lot of people are going to play this angle. A lot of people are going to be looking at this angle when they're swinging top belt. For example, when I said before, you know, I'm going to look at this angle once I get past nest and top 410 and everything. This is the angle that I'm going to look at immediately. So you're going to want to play angles that are not super common. At times, if you do have an op, it is, you know, advantageous to hold a common angle like this because you know that someone is probably going to swing you top belt, so you can get a free kill. But with a rifle, it's more advantageous to play angles like this. I like playing this angle a lot. It's really, like, it's really hard to hit. If you want to see this, go in-game and try and hit someone standing here. It's actually ridiculous. It's like a pixel because you can't see their body because of 410 blocking it, and you can only see a pixel of their head because, you know, you're swinging top 410 or top belt. So, yeah, it's really hard to hit. But for you, I like the ADS here, and then the wide swing belt, and you can just get a free tap here. You can probably get like 4 or 5 shots off without them even realizing where you are. And yeah, I wouldn't play it commonly, like back to back to back, but it is a really good spot to play, and I like to play a lot. Another good off angle that I like to play on Icebox specifically, you can play out wide rafters here, and then whenever someone is swinging bottom pipes here or top nest, you have basically free range on them, because usually when someone is swinging right here, they're going to be looking in this corner down here, and not this corner right here, so free kill, dash away. There's a ton of off angles that you can play. Just saying, play ones that aren't common, because people who are in high ranks, people who are, you know, somewhat good at the game, they're going to be looking for top nest. They're not going to be looking for an angle like this. You know what I mean? So try and use the angles to your advantage. If you don't have the best aim in the world, then make sure you're using off angles, because you can get an advantage and just kill people that have way better aim than you. Now, moving on. In Valorant, the most perfect thing that you need to have is crosshair placement. You need to have good crosshair placement. No matter what rank you are, no matter what agent you're playing, no matter what gun you're using, make sure you have good crosshair placement. Now, a good tip for crosshair placement that I like to use is, if you look around the map, on any map basically, you can see these lines on the map. Now this line right here is at perfect crosshair level. Right here, this line that I'm looking at, this line as well, this line right here, or well, not this line, but it would be perfect crosshair level if you were looking here. But this line right here is also perfect crosshair level. There's a ton of lines on almost every single map that if you line your crosshair up, it'll be head level. Now, I don't know if they did that on purpose just to help people with aiming or what, but yeah, if you look at this line right here is perfect crosshair level. For example, if there was a person blocking up right here, their head would be exactly in line with this line right here. Another good tip is that even if you are in spawn, say we're coming back here, you know, the round just started, you're in spawn with your homies, right? Spike's down right here, you know, game just started, right? You have your knife out, you're looking around, make sure you're keeping perfect crosshair level. Use your teammates' outlines. So for example, say there's a teammate right here, and you're back here, you can see their outline through the wall. Make sure that you're using perfect crosshair placement even in spawn with your knife out, even if you're doing nothing. Just use good crosshair placement. It's just good practice. It'll make sure that you have perfect crosshair placement even with your knife out. So for example, say you're running to spawn, right? Your teammates are like, come in, come in, come in. You're running from B, and there's a guy that peeks you mid, and you're like, oh shit, take your gun out. You'll still have perfect crosshair placement because you're used to having perfect crosshair placement with your knife out. Maybe you can get the kill. Most of the time, you're not, but in the one case that they do whiff, maybe you'll get the kill on them. It's just good practice. Make sure that you always are having good crosshair placement because it'll save you, and it'll definitely help. Now, me and the op, we have a love-hate relationship, but I am not one to usually use the op, but one tip that I have gotten from Yay and from other very good oppers is make sure you are almost always moving your mouse. So for example, say you're scoped in, round just started, you're, you know, looking at this angle, you're just completely still, right? And then he wide swings you. Most of the time, if you're a good opper, you're going to be able to just wide swing over and kill him like that. However, some people tend to fall asleep, like myself. If I'm holding this angle, you know, I'm holding it for 20, 30 seconds, you know, people in Radiant, they're ratting out, they're sitting in spawn, they're trying to get the lurk going, you know. I'm sitting here holding this thing for 20, 30 seconds. I'm gonna get tired, you know. I'm not paying attention. I'm not, you know, I'm zoned out, right? And then someone peeks mid, they one tap me, or they wide swing and I whiff, and then they kill me. You know what I mean? So one thing that I like to do to always keep, you know, keep attendant, keep making sure that I'm staying focused, you know, I like to move my mouse around just the tiniest little bit, maybe do a little circle, a little up, down, something like that, you know, just to make sure that I'm paying attention. You don't want to be moving it around like this, obviously, but just a little up, down, just a little circle, you know, something like that, just to make sure that you're paying attention, that you're actually, you know, you're clued into what you're doing, because some people, I'll notice, you know, they'll be holding this off like this. You know, someone will wide swing and you know, they'll be a little bit asleep. So make sure that you're awake. Make sure you're, you know, looking around. Make sure you're, you know, you're ready, you know? Another big thing with aiming that has been really popular lately, thanks to Yay, ADSing. So a lot of people, I will notice, they will ADS when they don't need to. For me personally, the only time that I'm really going to ADS is if I'm holding a long angle, like for example the angle that I was showing earlier where I'm top nest here. It's a bit of a hard shot to hit if you're scoped in. I mean, you can still hit it obviously, but you know, I like to just be zoomed in on this just so I can focus a little bit better. And also with ADSing, your shots are the tiniest bit slower. So for example, if I'm spraying the Vandal like this in my ADS, it's going to be a little bit slower and a little bit more haywire. So for example, if I'm ADS like this, I'm going to go for tapping more while I'm unscoped. I'm probably going to go for more quick shots like that, just a little burst shots like that. I don't know. Up to you. It is what it is. If you want to ADS, ADS. There's no specific time that you should ADS. There's no specific time that you shouldn't ADS. I mean, if you're in close combat like this, if someone's running up on you like this, it's probably not the best idea. But I mean, it's all preference. It is what it is. I see a lot of people in Ye's chat that are always like, you know, when should I ADS? When should I scope in? You know, when do you determine that you should ADS? It's all preference. Do whatever you want. I use it in specific situations, even when sometimes I don't even mean to use it, but you know, it just happens. It's kind of like an instinct. Like if you're holding an angle like this and you're like, wow, I really just, you know, can't see it, can't pay attention. ADS, man. Who cares? Like I said, just preference. Moving on to probably the final tip. So I'm gonna use yellow as a reference here. So basically, say round just started, right? People are coming up. You hear them coming up B main. You hear the drone coming. You're like, oh shit, here they come. You know, people are going to wide swing you. They will always wide swing you. No matter what rank you are in, they are going to wide swing you. If you're in Radiant or, you know, somewhat decent elo, you're going to get those morons that are going to pop and swing you. So you're not going to want to be holding a super, super tight angle like this. You know, you're not gonna hit this. I'll promise you. You're not 10s. You don't have like instant reaction time. So whenever someone is gonna swing you wide, you want to have a bit of a leniency between your crosshair and the wall. So you're going to give yourself a bit of time to react. You're also going to want to give them that time and that space to actually swing. Now, if they are jiggling you, like a lot of people want to jiggle this long angle here. Say, for example, they know you're opping here. They're going to give you a bit of a jiggle. They might give you a bit of a jump jiggle. You might want to hold for it. Now, with an op, it's a bit different with a rifle. So, for example, say, you might want to hold close for this jump jiggle if you know that they're going to do it and they've been doing it, consistently. You might want to actually hold close to the wall and wait for the jump jiggle. Or with a rifle, you're not going to want to hold like this. You're not going to hit this shot. Unless you get lucky enough that someone just runs into your crosshair accidentally, you're not going to hit this shot. Make sure that you're giving yourself enough time and enough space to actually hit the decent shot and to hit the headshot, because no one is going to swing close to the wall just like this, where they're just absolutely hugging the wall. Like, when you swing an angle, you're swinging it wide like this. You're not going to hug the wall and swing forward like this. No one's doing that. So yeah, make sure that you're actually giving yourself some time, some space, give yourself a few seconds, few milliseconds to react, you know what I mean? Alright, I'm going to start segueing into the settings and little tips and tricks and settings that I use to get an advantage. However, one thing I want to talk about, a lot of people struggle with the, what's the perfect sense, what's the perfect crosshair, what's the perfect mini-map size, what's the perfect, enemy highlight color. You want to copy all the favorite pros, you want to use what they use. My best advice, I've seen a lot of people that will ask, first, why is your, for example, for me, a lot of people ask me, why is your crouch C? Why is your, why isn't it your third ability? A lot of people have their third ability as just default, which is usually C. For me, I came from Minecraft, so my crouch was always on C because I didn't like it being on control. My push to talk in game is control. So yeah, I just used V for my smokes and my whatever my third ability is, whatever agent I'm playing. So it's just personal preference. If you want to use a certain keybind, if you want to use a certain sense, if you want to use a certain crosshair, as long as it's not I don't know, that, as long as it's something not ridiculous like this, use whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's your crosshair, it's what you want to use. If you want to, make something that is unique to you and that you feel it, just really, I don't know, helps you at the end of the day. If you want to use a certain crosshair, if you want to use a certain sense, if you want to use a certain keybind that you feel helps you and gives you an advantage, use it. Don't look towards the pros. Don't feel like you need to copy the best player in the world. Don't go into Tenz's chat and use exclamation point sense, exclamation point chair, exclamation point mouse, and copy every single thing that he has. Be your own unique person. Learn what is good for you. Learn what you like to use. Try out different senses. Try out different crosshairs. Find what you like. Don't just go and say, oh, well, the best player in the world uses this. Let's go and slap it on. Surely it'll make me good. For example, this dot crosshair that I have on right now, a lot of people like this crosshair. A lot of people say, you know, it's too small. A lot of people say, you know, I can't believe that you use that. How can you see that? You know what I mean? Personal preference. Use whatever you want. Do whatever you want to do. At the end of the day, it's your game. You're playing. Do what you want. All right, moving on to my personal settings. So we're going to start off with the in-game sense. My in-game sensitivity is 0.408. The scope sense is 0.827. This ADS sense multiplier was just recently added, so I'm not really sure if I should change that to 0.827 or if I should just leave it at 1. I don't really tend to see a difference whenever I'm scoped in, so I assume that this means only for ADS like gun like this, and I don't really seem to see a difference with that either. So I've just been leaving that at 1. Raw input buffer, I do have this on. For those that don't know what this does, if you have a wireless mouse, having this on basically helps decrease the input delay with the wireless mouse. So for me, I do use a wireless G502, so that is good to have on, in my opinion. For my mouse, I have everything on this left side or right side ticked, and then I have it completely maxed out. So my mouse or my map is pretty massive, which I can show you guys right here. I moved the wrong thing, but yeah, see, there you go. But moving on to the rest of my settings. First person handed this is preference, say whatever you want. I like right. Always show inventory. So basically, if you will see on the right side of my screen, if I turn this off, you can see that the inventory on the right side of your screen will fade eventually. Now, the reason that I have this on show is because, say, you know, your inventory is gone right now. Say it's gone. Let's turn it off. Right, so eventually it's gonna fade, and then I'm running through, I pick up this gun, and you know, I'm just running through, I'm just clearing these angles, I don't really notice, boom, it's gone in the bottom right. I can't even see that I have a gun. Maybe my teammates don't tell me, I don't realize, you know, maybe it was like just a random gun laying in like the middle of, you know, anywhere. Say someone died there, you didn't realize it, or someone dropped the gun there at the start of the round, you don't realize that you picked it up. With always show inventory on, you'll always know if you picked up something. So say, for example, run over this, so I'm just running around, you know, I don't realize I picked it up, and I'm like, oh, I have a Vandal. I don't know. just a little thing you guys should turn on. I think it's a good setting. I think it's helpful. I don't have any of this on. I do use scroll wheel to switch weapons. I don't use numbers. The only time I really use numbers is if I'm switching to my secondary in the middle of a fight. I don't ever use like 3 to switch to my knife or anything like that. I'll just scroll. I don't have cycle inventory or anything like that, and I don't have the spike either, so it just goes through my guns. If I want to plant the spike, I just use F, which I'll get into later. But yeah, that's about it for all of the normal settings. I do have bullet tracers on. I have mature content off, but usually I do turn it on, and then I just do where is it, blood, turn corpses off, and then turn off oh, there's another setting that they got rid of, but yeah, I do turn on blood usually, because if I'm using like a marshal or something like that, I want to see that I can hit them, that I hit them, so that's why I turn blood on. But usually I do play with it off, yes. Moving on to just regular keybinds. Everything here is mostly default except for crouch and this, like I said, because I played Minecraft. Equipment, nothing really special here. My melee is 3. That's about it. Yeah, my inspect is Y. That's preference, like I said. Planting the spike is F for me. I never played CSGO, so like I was never really a fan of pressing 4 to plant or defuse or anything like that. Just personal preference, like I said. It's kind of rough if you want to plant like here, because it's going to put you on the rope, but this is like the only map that has that problem, and even then, I don't really think it's a problem. I also think it's good, because there was an old Viper lineup that would land here, and if you were on the rope while you were defusing, it wouldn't hurt you. So that's why I also kept it, because I was just like, why not? Spray is J, that's just preference again. So my crosshairs, a lot of people ask for the crosshairs that I use in my video. Most of the crosshairs that you're gonna see is this one right here, which is the center dot. It is just a size 1 with an outline of 1. I usually keep the color on just yellow. Right now I have it on a bit of like an orange-ish color, like an orangish yellow. I'm gonna put all of my crosshairs, at least the common ones that I use, in the description. So if you guys want to copy and paste them, go ahead. So import a crosshair, just click on this button right here, and then paste in the code, and then you'll get it. But yeah, my crosshairs. So this is the one that I usually use. I use this custom blue color, which is apparently not there anymore. There it is. This is the crosshair that I usually use in game. If I'm not using the dot, so I'll also put this one in the description. Just 1420 with a custom color hex code, which you guys can get right there. I don't really use this one or that one or this one. Don't really use that one anymore. This one I use from time to time. It's 1622. This one I've been using recently, which is 1324. Don't really use that one. Don't really use that. This is the black one that I've been using recently as well. I believe this one is a bit custom, so I'm just going to put this one in the description. I believe it uses outer and inner lines as well. This one is a bit of like a spread crosshair, so you can see it has a bit of a firing arrow where you shoot. I can put that one in the description as well. Moving on to my video settings, I just have limited FPS up to 250. So you can see I'm basically always on 250 frames. Might go a little bit below, but that's about it. All of my resolution is usually 100% of the time native. I don't ever really play stretch. I don't really like it that much in this game. My video settings are all medium. Anti-aliasing on MSAA 2x, 2x on anti-strophic, improved clarity off. I like these two on because it makes your game just look a little bit cleaner. You can see the quality of the gun kind of goes up a bit when I turn that on. I just think it looks better. All Bloom does is really just make things brighter, like the little glow on the inside of the gun. You can see it's a little bit brighter with it on, so it doesn't really affect your FPS at all. Might as well throw it on. Also, a thing that is interesting, for example, if I can turn on this. So for example, let me uncap my frames. So I'm getting about 320 frames, sure. If you notice, if I go to low, my FPS is actually worse on low. But if I go to medium, it actually doesn't change at all, really. I don't really know why it got so bad there, but whatever. Yeah, there really is no difference between low and medium settings in FPS wise. I think medium makes the game look way better than it does on low, so I almost 100% of the time I'm using medium. But yeah, again, just personal preference. I don't really have any of like the performance things on. Sound settings, I have HRTF off, and then basically everything max except for sound effects, just a little bit lower. Keybinds for voice chat are just mouse button 4 for party, and left control for voice, team voice. And yeah, that's about it for my settings. Mouse that I use is a Logitech G502 wireless. Keyboard is a Ducky 1.2 Mini Blackout collab. Mic is a HyperX Quadcast. Headset is a Razer Nari, and yeah, that's about it. That's all my settings. That's all my keybinds. That's all of my aim tricks and tips. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I've been wanting to make a video like this for a while. I actually recorded it the other day and then realized that the entire time no audio is being picked up. So I was a bit discouraged from making it, but yeah, I'm glad to get it out, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned maybe a thing or two that'll help you guys. The main thing for aiming, you just have to practice. I know a lot of people are going to tell you, you know, aim trainers, they're going to be the #1 thing that are going to help you. In my personal opinion, I have maybe an hour on aim labs. I don't even have Kovacs. So at the end of the day, I've never even played a computer FPS before this, and I'm a 6 times Radiant. I'm almost always Radiant now. So just play the game. Just play the game. It's really as simple as that. If you want to get better at this game, just play comp, play unrated, play whatever you want to do, even deathmatch to that point. It'll really help you to get better just by playing. That's all you really have to do. There's no special knack or trick that'll get you to rank up or get, you know, godlike aim or any setting or anything like that. Find a good sense, find what you like, stick with it. Don't change your sense 50 million times. You're going to see a lot of pros like Tyson that'll tweet out and be like, oh, I just changed my sense 40 million times, you know, I'm playing da-da-da-da on blah 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 DPI. Stay on the same sense. The reason that I'm able to use such a high sense, a lot of people, you know, will be like, oh, how can you use such a high sense where you're just barely moving your mouse and you're doing 360s, you know what I mean? The reason that I'm able to do it is because I've been on the same sense for maybe 6-7 years. Even when I even wasn't playing even like any competitive or any shooter games or anything like that. If you want to master a sense, stay on it. Don't change. Don't say, oh, you know, I'm doing bad on this sense. Let me go to an entirely different one. That'll just mess you up and it'll make your aim inconsistent. Stay on the same sense. Play aim trainers if you want, but comp is the best way to train your aim. Nothing is better than the actual game, in my opinion. But yeah. That's all from me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned a thing, like I said. And, yeah. That's it. Bye, guys.
Let that Sova find me. Whatever. It'll help him look down.